So today I want to talk to you about searching for a location and what to avoid when looking for a location for your daycare business. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley Benz of Ashley Benz Consulting and Childcare Business Executive Tools, where I help you start, automate, or expand your early childhood education business. And I do all those things over at ashleybenz.com. So today I want to talk to you about searching for a location and what to avoid when looking for a location for your daycare business. So without further delay, let's go ahead and take a sip here and let's hop into today's video. Okay, so if you are considering starting your own daycare business, or you are considering expanding from your home into a commercial center, there are some things that you definitely want to avoid when searching for a location. Now, I am aware because I have spoken with some of you all, I've seen some of the comments that you've been leaving, but I'm aware that you have been kind of struggling, or some of you guys have been struggling with finding a location. And so today I just want to share with you some things to avoid, some things to think about, and hopefully that might help you with your search and, possibly looking at some different things and looking at it in a different perspective. Okay, so the very first thing that you want to avoid is you want to avoid the wrong square footage. Now, the first thing that a lot of people fall in love with is just the building. You see the space, you're thinking, oh, I could do this here and I could do that there. And I have talked to many people that are in that. In fact, I talked to someone out in California and she was like, Ashley, I found the right location. It's perfect. It's everything I've been dreaming of. And then I was like, okay, what is your square footage? And when she told me what it was, I immediately said, you're not going to be profitable there. So here is the thing about square footage, okay? There is staff to child ratio that you're going to have to be in compliance with, meaning that there's going to have to be a certain amount of space per child. And that means that you're going to have to make sure that you have a square footage that your building has enough square footage to put in the a right amount of children so that you can have the enough enrollments to be profitable. So one of the mistakes that a lot of people will do is they're not even aware of this. They'll just kind of get the building, they'll get a space, and then, they actually start operating, and then they find out that they actually don't have enough square footage to take on the amount of enrollments needed to actually be profitable. Okay, so the second thing that you want to avoid is a low traffic area. Now, the one question that you want to ask yourself when you're looking at a space is what type of organic traffic will the space get? So how many cars are going to be passing by? Will there be any foot traffic? And so essentially, you just really want to be in a high traffic area and you want to avoid a low traffic area. Now, if you are in a low traffic area, then what this means is that you are going to have to be an expert at marketing, because if no one can find you, then it's going to be left up to you to get the word out and to make sure that you have the proper marketing efforts in place so that people can find your location. But what I will tell you from my own personal experience, because I was in a low traffic area, and what I learned was that I've got to market this thing and to get people over here, and I was eventually able to do that. But in the beginning stages, because I didn't know anything about marketing or how to properly market my childcare business, being in the low traffic area really did hurt my business in the first couple of years. So avoid a low traffic area. All right, now before we get to the third thing that you want to avoid, if you are liking this content so far, if you are liking the information that I'm giving you, go ahead and give this video a like. And also go ahead and subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel. That really just helps me out by you liking the video here and subscribing. That just helps me out. It's like pretty much dropping a little bit of a tip for me there. So, all right. Now, this is going to be one that I feel like most of you all know, or most people kind of really think about, but it is one that you do want to avoid. And that is there a market need in the area, point blank period? Okay. Here's the thing about it. a lot of people will say, oh, well, I'm going to set up my childcare business or my daycare in this location. I see there's other ones there that have low quality. And so I'm going to come in and I'm going to bring this amazing quality, and I'm going to take all these, families away from these other childcare businesses that are not doing as great, or that's not offering the best services. And I'm going to have them come for me. And so, a lot of people will get this idea that is like a really good strategy, and I'm going to tell you that it is not a good strategy. So again, is there a market and a need in that area? Now, where you really want to be at is you want to be in an area that has scarcity when it comes to child care services, okay? The reason why is because you are just going to be in competition with whoever else is, a block over or down the street or whatever. And if this is your first time doing this and you don't have a background, again, here we go back, we're talking about marketing, but if you don't have a background in marketing and advertising, then you're really just setting yourself up for failure, and you are setting yourself up for a lot of challenges that you're going to face when it comes to marketing and advertising your childcare business and being above the competition. Now, I will say this. It doesn't matter where you put your childcare business at. If you are in a scarcity part of town or something like that, you are always going to be in competition. But if you are if I'm setting up a daycare business right in the smack dab middle where a lot of other childcare businesses are located at, and this is my first time doing this, I'm just kind of really making the road a little bit harder for me. So you'll see this in fast food chains and things like that. But we are in a different industry. And again, I'm looking out for your best interest, especially if this is your first time doing this. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk to you about avoiding a deteriorating community. So a community that is really just kind of going down. Now, I know that some of you guys are probably saying, okay, Ashley, now what do you mean by that? Aren't we supposed to give back? And so, yes, we are, okay? But the time for you to try to go in to a community that is deteriorating and to try to bring in childcare services that might actually be needed, but this is not the time to do that if this is your first time doing it. And I'm going to tell you the reason why is because you're just going to have a lot of challenges that's just really going to be hard for you to overcome, okay, in this type of scenario. So avoid going into a community that could be deteriorating, or that, the city is not really putting any effort into the development of that community. Because again, you don't want to have to be, I guess in some ways, you want to avoid the challenges that comes with that when you're new to this. Now, here's what you will want to do, because when I hear people talk about this is just what I call a passion project. Literally, if I was going to do that, I would want to be in business for, X amount of years. I have a good track record with marketing my business. I know what I'm doing. I know how to build partnerships. I really kind of got those things down. Then that's when you would want to go back into that community and then help, be a part of building it back up with your childcare services. And so think of it like this, because if you were to do that, essentially you are actually doing the community a disservice by opening up a childcare business, and you really don't know what you're doing, and then it just doesn't really, it's not the effect of giving back to that community. It's not going to be that effective as it would be if you came in and you've been established and you kind of know what you're doing. So I hope that makes sense. For me, I feel like this is a really kind of, touchy topic, because I completely understand it. But at the same time, again, my job here on this channel is to provide you information that's going to be in the best interest of you as a childcare business owner. So just doing my job here, that is all. All right, and so with that being said, in conclusion to this video, the key thing that you want to ensure when you are searching for a location, and if you've been on my channel for a while, you guys probably already know where I'm headed with this, but the key thing is that you want to find a location that is going to be profitable. And so the things that I just mentioned to you in relation to avoiding are the things that you want to avoid if you want to have a profitable childcare business when you are looking for the right location. So, okay. Thank you so much for joining. What my question to you is, and this is going to be your next steps, is are you looking for a location? What has been your experience with that? Like I said, I know that there were some of you all that left comments and you guys have been struggling with looking for a location. So I would love to continue the conversation. So meet me down in the comments and let me know what you've been doing in relation to looking for a location, and has it been going good for you? Have you been struggling? Let's kind of continue that down in the comments. You can also go and download my How to Get Started Roadmap Guide. This guide is a guide that I created, and it really just kind of walks you through the entire journey of what it takes to actually get started. And I will tell you that most people that download the guide, and you also get a free training video where I walk you through the guide. So most people that download the guide and watch the free training video get their most burning questions answered. So that is where I would definitely send you. Also look down in the description box as well for my free resource page over at ashleybinz.com. I like to kind of call this my virtual goodie bag that I want to hand off to you. And also be sure to check out these other videos that will help you dive a little bit deeper. I do kind of pick these videos out myself. So the videos that are popping up hopefully here in a few minutes, if they're not already there, are videos that I'm suggesting to you to watch to continue kind of to dive a little bit deeper into this topic. So, all right, thank you so much for joining. I wish you well on your search, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Okay. I am waiting for the neighbor's dogs to stop barking. I think we're good now. Okay, and here we go.